Good evening. Today in this presentation, I will talk about my research. It will be held with the title is the analysis of grammatical errors in student writing at Polytechnic Tonggak Etuat. And my name is Adrianus Alvin, and I want to take this opportunity to thank for the first supervisor is Sir Tumpal, and the second supervisor is Ma'am Francisca, and the first examiner is Miss Hilaria, and the second examiner is Sir Subanti. And thank you for allowing me to the presence. In this presentation, I will discuss three main points in this presentation. For the first is introductions, and the second is literature review, and the third is research methodology. Without any longer, I will explain for the first point is sub introductions and backgrounds. Generally, English is one of the most studied language world-based on UNESCO 2021, and to master English well, it's necessary to master several different sub-skills. According to Harmer 2077, that English is consists of four main subset ability: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. For the competencies must be appropriately mastered so that someone can communicate fluently in the English. And there are several skills, and one of them is grammar. And research 2010 state that grammar is the system of the rules of the construct the formation and the connection of every word in a sentence. Brown 2001 states that grammatical competence is the major component of communicative competence. Grammar becomes the rule of correct in language. Error in writing are a semantic or recurring deviation from the standard rules of language. And several studies have also shown that the grammatical error in students' writing are caused by various factors, such as a lack of understanding of grammar rules, the influence of the mother tongues, and a lack of opportunity to practice the writing. And to conclude, the limitation of the previous research may only have focused one of type of grammatical error or one particular type of the text, and therefore the further still need to cover other text grammatical errors, and this research still need to be done investigate this factor. Because of that, this study aimed to analyze the type of grammatical errors that often occur in student writing and the factor that influence this error. And the results of this study expected to provide insight into grammatical errors that often occur in students and provide the suggestions that can assist students in overcoming this error. And the results of this research are expected to contribute to developing more effective and efficient curricular and teaching methods. And the next is risk problem. What are grammatical problems made by students Polytechnic Tonggak Equator semester 6 in their assignment writing? And what errors do students Polytechnic Tonggak Equator most often make? And next, the scope of the research is focused on 5 aspects of grammar error and the sentence pattern, subject and verb, the tenses, pronoun, preposition, function, and spelling matched by student of at Polytechnic Tonggak Equator. And this is purpose this research investigate grammatical problems by Polytechnic Tonggak Equator semester 6 students in their assessment writing. And the second, the investigate errors the most often made by students Polytechnic Tonggak Equator in their writing. The next, research contribution. This research helps understanding the type of grammatical errors, and the study can provide understanding of the type of grammatical error that often occur in student writing. And the practical contribution, this research will will hopefully provide more information about grammatical error in student writing at Polytechnic Tunggal Ektor and help other writers to conduct a similar study. And chapter 2 is literature review and grammar. Grammar is a set of rules of conventions used to govern how speaker a language is to process clause and function to form correct, meaningful sentences. According to ASARA 2022, grammar is a set of rules that govern the way words are used in sentence. And according to Oxford English Dictionary 2021, grammar is defined as the whole system and the structure of a language or language in general, usually taken as consistent morphology, including inflection and sometimes also phonology and semantics. And the writing can be defined as the process of expressing idea talked into writing form that can be read and understood by readers. According to Britain 1974-5, writing is a complex skill that involves the process of thinking, planning, revising, and publishing idea or message into written language. Meanwhile, Murray 19.5 states that the writing is an interactive process that enables writers to discover, explore, and communicate meaning through a serious thinking and language action. The process of writing. John Langan, 2003, stated in his book, there are 4 best in writing effectively paper: unity, the supports, coherence, and sentences skill. The first, unity. To achieve unity to all detail your paper related to your thesis and to your 3 supportive topic sentence. And the support. After realizing the importance of specific supports detail, all your papers should include such vivid details. And coherence. All the supporting ideas sentences in the paper must be organized so that it's coherent. And the sentence skill, here are the example of sentence skill mistakes. A question mark, capitalist mark, capitalizations, singular plural, pluralism, sentence fragment, and misspelled tenses, apostrophes, and anything else. Type of writing based on purpose. Based on the purpose, there are 3 for writing can be discussed: expository, persuasive, narrative, and descriptive. Expository writing is a type of writing that is writing to explain or provide information about topics, objective, and detail. Meanwhile, persuasive writing is a type of writing that is written to convince the reader to trust the author or opinions or take specific action. And finally, descriptive writing is a type of writing that is written to describe or give any idea of an object or topic using descriptive and detailed language. And the purpose of writing. Writing is not just about putting words together, but also requires understanding of the purpose of writing. Besides being from beautiful literal, writing also serves a means of communication between the writer and the reader. According to Salma 2021, there are several main purposes to need to be understood in writing. For the first, to providing information; the second, to persuading; and the third, to entertaining. Grammatical errors in writing. Grammatical errors in language are used, including grammar, spelling, and punctuation. According to Hinkle 2024, grammatical errors can be divided into several types, such as error in the tenses, subject verb, agreement, adjective, adverb, and so on. Grammatical errors refers to take individual makes when using language, particularly in writing speaking. This mistake may include of verb, pronoun, adjective, or other part speech of structures, false sentences, or structure of punctuation. Type of grammatical errors in writing. For the first, according to Azar 2006, sentences patterns The subject is the word tell you was the verb. Almost all English sentences contain a subject and a verb. The verb may additionally or not be accompanied by an object. Because of this, the subject comes before the verb, which becomes before the object. Tenses. In English, identify with occasion takes place or describe a kingdom, the simply beyond the indicate that an activity or state of foreign component ended a particular time with it the past. Pronoun. A pronoun is a word used place of a noun or noun phrase. Usually when a noun or noun phrase has been used once, pronouns is used to avoid repeating the same noun or a noun phrase. Preposition. Preposition have been called the most important little word in English. They are typical, relative, short, and significant, but they have essential function. And punctuation and spelling. Punctuation is the unique mark which you add writing, phrase, and sentence to show that something is a question. Many others, punctuation is not something you impose upon a sentence after writing it out. Comma, semicolons, and other marks are imitate part of grammatical style. Spelling. Spelling word English in English may be difficult for learners become sometimes a word just like a word in their own language but needs to be spelled the same. And the next empirical study. The writer got 4 empirical study for this research based on previous study. For the first, an analysis grammatical error in student writing conducted by Fajar Emea 2012. Its aim identity and analyze types source grammatical errors made by student in their writing. And the finding of the study revealed that there were 3 types of grammatical errors made by the student, namely error in using verb form, error in using article, and error in using preposition. The second one is grammar error made by ESL territory students in writing, which conducted by Chara, Amrit, Nur, and Tilaga 2017. And this study aimed to identify the type of frequencies grammatical error made by English as a second language or ESL territory student in the writing. The study used qualitative research and collecting data from 40 ESL students at a territory institution in Malaysia. The study results shows that the most common grammatical errors made by ESL territory students in their writing were errors in verb tenses, subject-verb agreement, article, and preposition. And the third one is the analysis grammatical error in student writing was conducted by Putri Saiful 2020. This study analyzed that the type of frequency student grammatical error in writing. The study found that the most frequencies grammatical error made by students were related to verb tenses, subject, verb agreement, and the research also found the students tended to make similar grammatical in different writing tests. And the last one is by Sana Carter and an analysis of the most common essay writing errors among EVL student female learners. Majama University. This study aims to analyze the most common type of essay writing errors among Saudi students and English a second language at Majama University. The study used a qualitative descriptive research designed with the data analysis technique involving frequency, proportion, average score analysis. And the research shown that grammatical errors were the most common type writing error among Saudi students, including incorrect of the words, verb tenses, subject, and the object error. In addition, error spelling were also found as a type error that often occur. And the differences between this research and the previous study are that the writers wants to know about grammatical error in student of writing at Polytechnic Tonggar Water. And Chapter 3 is research methodology. And the writer used a qualitative descriptive form of content analysis in this research. And the place is in this research, the writer conducted study at Polytechnic Congo Equator, which is located is Jalan Fatima, number 1 until 12, and 2 is Pontianak. And the research time from February until May, and the object of the research is the subject of this research is a side assignment given one of the class at Polytechnic Congo Equator. And of data collecting. To collect data, the writer asked for the data from one of the lecturer who taught on the campus. And furthermore, the researcher uses that document to collect data in this research. And it will helpful for the researcher to know the kind of grammatical errors made by the college student and the highest and the lowest errors frequencies of each error. Technique of data collecting. This research focused on grammatical error analysis. The writer chose one of the class in the Polytechnic Tonga Equator and then analyzing by applying content analysis. And the validity and reliability. The research process required appropriate correct measuring instruments validity. According to Mujarad Kunchoro 2013, validity is instrument or tool to measure the truth in this process. Measuring instrument used to carry out research must be standardized and can be used as a guide in measuring data to be studied. And the reliability, according to Sony Laksono 2013, data in qualitative research is considered reliable if the research is in the field conditions according to the fact accurate. And the level of the reliability in qualitative approach is individual different between one research and another because each study relies on the research himself. And reliability is pursued by procedures similar to involving the other research. And the technique of data just thank you for the listening. May all those we have shall be beneficial for us all us. Thank you so much for the attention. I hope this presentation can help.